Good afternoon, everyone. This is Fran. Welcome to my kitchen. Today we are going to be making homemade biscuits, but the homemade biscuits are not going to be the star of the show. The star of the show are the three sides that we're going to make to go on top or inside our biscuit. Okay, so we are going to be making the 3-ingredient biscuit because we're going to have 3 toppings. So this is just the simple, easiest biscuit recipe. You have to make this and it tastes so good. You can't mess this up. It is that easy and that good. I preheated my oven to 375 degrees. We're going to put in 2 cups of self-rising flour. It already has the salt in it. It has the leveling ingredients to make the biscuits rise. So we're just going to put in 2 cups of self-rising flour. I used White Lily. 1 stick of softened butter. I used salted. And then 2 cups of sour cream. Okay, now twist this around. We're going to be using our hands in a few minutes, but I normally like to just do this to get the sour cream in there real good. I love this little dough whisk. And you're probably going to get flour all over you. That is just part of the baking experience. And why don't I like aprons? I love aprons, but I mess them up so bad. But I always forget to bring it out. So, sometimes I'll wear them, sometimes I won't. So now we're just going to go in with our hands. I think I'll take off my ring. I just realized I had it on. Okay, and you will need a little extra flour. So I have about a half a cup of flour over here just to flour my board. Okay. Just going to pop it right up on here. Just going to pour it right out of the bowl. I just love these biscuits. You don't have to be a grandma to know how to make a good biscuit. You can be in your 20s, your 30s, your 40s. You can do it. See how it's just coming together? It is messy to make biscuits. You can put down parchment paper. But this should, making a biscuit should not be hard. I'm going to tell you, when I first started, my biscuits were so bad. Oh my gosh. We didn't have different places that we could go on the internet when I was learning how to cook. My mom is a wonderful cook, but she taught my sister Connie how to cook, and she taught me how to clean. So I'm teaching myself how to cook. Okay, I think they're good. We don't want them too dry. We want them to be able to move around on the board just like that. If it can move, you've done good. If it'll pat out like that, you've done good. You just want to make sure your hands are a little floured. I like a thick biscuit. Some people like a thin. My mom likes thin. I love thick. I like a cake-like biscuit. It's entirely up to you. There we go. I need my hands a little bit more flour. This is kind of a wet dough because of all the sour cream. And it will have like a buttermilk taste, so almost like a buttermilk biscuit. Okay. So we're going to flour our rolling pin down just a little bit. Start rolling. See how easy it rolls? It should roll just like that. keep my biscuit cutters in like a little basket, and then I can pick out what size I want. And I don't think we want them too big because we want to eat as many as we can with the 3 toppings. So these biscuits will rise, and these are thin biscuits. I'm going to be using a sheet pan. I'll put a little bit of parchment paper on it. I'm going to spray it down with a little bit of vegetable oil, just so the parchment paper will stick better. And we want our biscuits touching each other. That is a secret to a really good biscuit, that they need to touch each other. We are making our biscuits thin today. We're not making them too thick. We need to put just a little bit of flour on our ring here. Okay, I have 15 biscuits here, and I know that we have some extra left over. I'm going to show you what I do with those. We're going to cut this out, and we're going to freeze. I'm going to make these a little thicker, and I'm going to freeze about 4 or 5 biscuits so that me and my husband can have them at another time. Take them out of the freezer, pop them in the oven, and it'll be like, you know, the Pillsbury freezer biscuits. So we're going to do that in just a minute, but we're going to get this into a 375 degree oven, and I'm going to put these in for about 8 to 10 minutes. I forgot we were going to roll these extras out. Put a little flour, and then I'm going to freeze them. Okay. I want these to be kind of a thick dough. See how thick those biscuits are compared to the other ones? So we have 7 biscuits to freeze. I'm going to show you how to make it so easy. Take your little pan, flour it, pop these biscuits right on top. We got those in the freezer. We're going to let them stay in there for about an hour, and then I'm going to pop them in a bag, and they're going to be separated, so I can just take out a few and pop them in the oven for me and my husband at a later date, so they don't have to go wasted. They'll be delicious. First side topping that we're going to put on these biscuits is a peanut butter, maple syrup, and a whole stick of butter. This is the way my mom made it. She used margarine though, but we didn't know. Tasted just as good, and she had pancake syrup, didn't have maple syrup, but I don't use pancake syrup, so we're going to have to use this maple, which there's no difference. So we're going to need a whole stick of butter, 2 cups. Make sure this is my 2 cup. Oh, no, it's 1 cup. I thought I had a 2 cup. I'm going to take 2 cups of peanut butter, any kind you want. I wouldn't use the one with the oil in it. You can use the all natural if it's creamy. You really want a creamy. So let me get out another cup of peanut butter. And we save this. This will be really good for about a week in the refrigerator if it lasts that long, because you can put it on toast, waffles, pancakes, whatever you choose, canned biscuits. So you can make this and heat it up and eat it for breakfast. There's 2 cups. So simple. Oh my goodness. This is luxury, guys. And we are going to just put a little bit of maple syrup in, and you probably about 1/4 of a cup. And I just always gauge it. I started out with 1/4 of a cup of maple syrup. Stir it around. We want that butter and that peanut butter to come together. Okay, probably a couple more tablespoons of maple syrup. And I promise you, you're going to want to lick this spoon. You're going to see the chunks of butter in there. Guys, you put this on your biscuit. Scrumptious, scrumptious. No, it's not healthy. It's good. And we called it peanut butter stuff. If you've got a better name for it, but my mom always called it peanut butter stuff, and that's what we called it. But if you can come up with a great name for this, please leave it, comment down below. We need to name this stuff. It's so good. It needs a great name. So help me name this peanut butter stuff. All right, so now we're gonna get to the most simplest. It's so simple, y'all. It's even simpler than that. It's 2 ingredients. So when I froze these strawberries that my neighbor gave me, I knew what I was going to do with them. I was going to make a big pan of biscuits, and I was going to make the hot strawberries to go on top of the biscuits. I just pour this right on top. You can put whipped cream out. My mom, she never put any whipped cream on it. We just had biscuits and strawberries. I'm just going to take our frozen strawberries. I'm just going to put them right here in this dish. Just a plain little dish. Okay, now we're going to sprinkle with a little bit of sugar. We don't need very much. Probably about 1/4 of, I'm going to say, probably about 2 tablespoons. Let's just say that. We're going to put these in the microwave for about 4 minutes. That's not going to take no time at all. And now I'm saving the best for last. Guys, these are our homemade biscuits. Don't they look good? So it was 10 minutes. That's all, 10 minutes. And they are really good. They're not burnt on the bottom. Miss Fran here does not like burnt anything. So I don't want them too dark. They're light on top. We're gonna let them cool. Some people just, wipe them down with butter, but we're not gonna do that. But see, they're thin, they're not thick, but you could make them thick, and you would need them probably about 15 minutes in the oven, but these are our thin ones. These were whole when I froze them, but I'm going to show you what I normally do whenever you can just either squish them down or get a little chopper. You could have chopped them beforehand, but I don't like to do that. I like to put them in whole. Okay, so to make these extra special, we're going to take a 1/2 stick of butter. I'm just going to put the 1/2 stick right in the middle of the strawberries. That's it. Y'all, that's absolutely wonderful. Okay, so what is the third one? Well, the third one will entail a little bit more work, but it is my favorite thing that my mom ever made as a child. Besides banana sandwiches and fried chicken. Banana sandwiches and fried chicken is my favorite food, but one of my favorite things is the chocolate that you put on biscuits. Oh my goodness, so good. Let's get started. So all we need is 1 small pan. My mom always did it like this, and it turned out so good. So the first thing that we're going to do is put in 2 cups of milk, but we're not going to turn our stove on just yet. We're going to get everything incorporated into the milk, and then we're going to turn on our stove. Okay, now we're going to need 1/4 cup of cocoa. Put it right in there, just like that. Okay, we're going to need 3 tablespoons of all-purpose flour. Put it right in there. About 1/4 teaspoon of salt. Salt's going to bring out that cocoa. Okay, now we're going to put in 3/4 cup of granulated sugar. And we're going to start whisking this around. And you can make this ahead of time and put it in the refrigerator and just heat it up in the microwave or on the stove, whichever you want. Okay, now that we've got that incorporated really good, we're going to turn the stove on low to medium. Not very high, because we don't want it to boil right away. We want it to build up. I am keeping this at a constant stir. So you should never feel anything on the bottom, and I did turn the heat up because we're going to let this boil just a few minutes. And now it's gone back down. This is the longest one of the toppings that we're going to put on our biscuits. I wear a lot of black when I'm in this kitchen cooking because you can't see the stains. I do have aprons. But sometimes I forget to put them on, or they're so pretty I don't want to mess them up. My cousin sent me the most beautiful apron, and I really want to use it, but I'm scared I'll mess it up. I think this takes between anywhere from about 9 to 10 minutes. So we're going to put in about 1 teaspoon of vanilla. I only had this Mexican vanilla blend. I only had it. And I needed to use it, so that's what we're using. About 1 teaspoon, it does smell good. And about 2 tablespoons of butter. Put that right in there. I'm gonna whisk that butter right around. It smells like me being a little girl again. We had a little house, and my mom, the living room and the kitchen, everything was all combined, which is the same house. But it'd be cold, and we had a wood heater, and that wood heater would be going, and Mama would be in there cooking. And I'm telling you, that was some of the sweetest memories I had, was my mama cooking on a cold and rainy day outside. I loved it because she could come up. We had hardly anything in our refrigerator, but my mama could come up with some delicious food. I'm telling you, it was so good. I get something to pour my gravy in. Guys, I just had a birthday, and I guess I'm a little nostalgic because it was a big birthday. I just turned 60, and I've been a little nostalgic and thinking about when I was a little girl, and you know, just all those things, the good memories. And you know, when you think back about your past, don't think about anything negative or bad. Think about the good. I can't wait. This is my childhood. Comment to let me know which one you would like, the chocolate gravy, the peanut butter stuff, you guys gotta name it, and the strawberries and butter. This is to my mama, and she used canned biscuits. They're good, y'all. Use the can, make the homemade. I think the homemade are better, but everybody's different. My mama thinks the can are. She needs to get her some canned biscuits going because we got some stuff to eat. So we have our canned biscuits. So we have our pan of biscuits. We don't have any canned biscuits. We're gonna take 2 of our biscuits and we're gonna try this. We're gonna take, first of all, what should we start with first? Let's start with the strawberries first. I've been craving that all year, even though the chocolate is my favorite. You can even drizzle some of that chocolate gravy over the top of the strawberries or the peanut butter stuff. So you could have 4. But I recommend not making all 4 at one time unless you're having a big brunch and you want to make different sides. It's entirely up to you. Y'all, I've been waiting all year for this, guys. Those hot biscuits, those hot strawberries. Oh, so good. We're gonna open up our biscuits. These are thin, but they'll still open pretty good. See? That's how you know you have a really good biscuit. We're gonna take our peanut butter. I'm just gonna spread it just like that. We used to just really pile it on. I'm excited. That's so good. Oh my goodness. This just brings me back to my childhood, and it brings me back to sharing this recipe with my family. My little boys, my husband always said, oh, I don't like that, but he would eat it and eat it and eat it. You know, he doesn't like sweets, but yet he would eat it. And a lot of times we would just take it and add a little bit more to the outside of our biscuit. I don't want to quit eating that either. And it's hot. This is me as a little kid, y'all. Our biscuits. Got our gravy. Just gonna pour that right on top. That is my favorite, biscuits and gravy. I want to cry because I feel like a little kid again. When I taste that, it just brings me back to being a little girl. And there's nothing wrong with being 60. I'm thrilled I'm 60. But sometimes it's just nice to go back and visit our memories a little bit and think about the good things and the good childhood memories that we have. I get to make it and share it and make a new memory today with you. Now, we didn't eat it. We sopped it. We didn't eat it with a fork or spoon. We sopped it. I'm getting so many new subscribers and comments, and I just want to say thank you. Hit the like, subscribe, comment below. Help me name my peanut butter stuff. Tell me what your favorite childhood recipe is. Maybe we'll make it. We'll do savory next time.